Jeremiah 18:3-4. Then I went down to the potter's house, and behold, he wrought a work on the wheels. And the vessel that he made of clay was marred in the hand of the potter. So he made it again another vessel, as it seemed good to the potter to make it. This morning, as we study the transformed life, we're talking about life in the hands of the potter. The definition of marred means to decay or ruin, cast off, destroy. It means perish. And so the idea is that the master potter, just like the human potter, takes that marred clay into his hands, which is only fit to be thrown away, and carefully molds it and fashions it into his likeness. As we begin our study again in the transformed life, we find out through many passages that God himself, the master potter, is the one who is molding and shaping our lives and transforming us into his own image so that we can become a vessel unto honor. Now, pottery making is not a very clean job. It's a very dirty job. First of all, a potter, he takes a lump of clay and he may mold it, he may squeeze it in his hands, he may even pound on it a little while, all to make it malleable, to make it so that it can be moldable in his hands. This lump of clay being marred is a signifying of our lives marred by sin. In the Garden of Eden in Genesis chapter 1 and 2, God made man out of the dust of the earth, and we were marred by sin in the 3rd chapter of Genesis when Satan entered into the human race. So this potter takes that clay, molds it, he puts it on a wheel, and he spins that wheel with his foot, and he holds the clay very closely in his hands, always keeping control. Never takes one hand off of it or the other hand off of it, but keeps that clay right there in his hands so that he can mold it meticulously and very carefully, calculating each new move as he makes it and forms that clay into the vessel that he wants it to be in. God himself is doing this. He takes our marred lives, our sin-stained lives, and begins to mold us in his own way so that we can become vessels unto honor unto him. Imagine, if you were, for a moment, if you were that piece of clay on the potter's wheel, spinning round and round. Wouldn't it make you sick? Wouldn't there be a time when you feel so dizzy you'd want to fall off or maybe vomit? Perhaps what would happen when the potter squeezes you so hard that you don't have hardly any breath left in you? What would happen if he pokes you and pinches you and twists you around and sits you on the wheel and holds you in his hands, and you can feel the excess falling off of you? Wouldn't you want to say, "Oh Lord, what are you doing with me? What have you made me for? What in the world do you think you're doing? Lord, please help me with this," And so many of us can say, ouch to some of those things. But back to reality, we are that lump of clay in the hands of the master potter. And God has got us on the wheel of life just spinning like crazy, but he never takes his hands off of us. He's always got his hands on us, spinning us and taking off the excess crud, taking off the mars that are in our life, the habits and everything that makes us ungodly. He's taking that off of us.